Jin-woo never liked ceremonies. He was a space engineer, not someone who wanted to stand in front of thousands of glowing alien eyes. Yet here he was, in the middle of the Lithari homeworld's great hall, with all the alien elders watching him. The Lithari were unlike any species Jin-woo had ever seen. They were tall and thin, with translucent skin that glowed softly like jellyfish. Their huge, black eyes reflected the golden light of the hall. They were a peaceful race, but they had nearly been wiped out by a dying star until the Earth's Alliance rescue team, led by Jin-woo, helped them escape. Now the Lithari wanted to reward their saviors. "You are the most honored," said Elder Lira, her voice echoing, "for you saved the heart of our people." Jin-woo nodded awkwardly. He was used to fixing engines, not being called a hero. He just wanted to get back to the ship. But then, Elder Vera lifted a small, glowing creature from a cradle and stepped forward. The crowd gasped. Jin-woo blinked in confusion. It wasn't a creature. It was a tiny woman, no taller than his knee. She had soft blue skin that shimmered faintly, and delicate insect-like wings folded against her back. She wore a simple, white cloth around her body. Her huge golden eyes stared up at him, with both fear and curiosity. "This is Lira," Elder Vera said. "She is yours now. A bond for life. She will never leave you." Jin-woo froze. "Wait, what?" Before he could say anything else, the little woman stepped forward and grabbed his leg with surprising strength. She pressed her small face against his knee and clung on tightly, as if her life depended on it. "Hey, no, it's okay," Jin-woo said softly, crouching down. "You don't have to," but she wouldn't let go. "She will stay with you," Elder Vera said firmly. "It is our greatest honor to give you one of our bonded. You saved us. Now she will protect you, and you will protect her." Jin-woo's friends from the crew stood in the background, watching with wide eyes. Hyun-soo, the pilot and Jin-woo's closest friend, smirked. "Looks like he just got married, Jin-woo." "It's not funny," Jin-woo muttered, trying to peel Lira off his leg. She tightened her hold, shaking her head quickly, her little wings fluttering. "She won't let go," another crew member whispered. Jin-woo's face grew warm as the Lithari crowd began to hum softly, like a song of approval. He didn't know what to do. He didn't want to hurt her feelings, but he also didn't want to take someone against their will. "I can't just take her with me," he whispered to Elder Vera. "You must," the elder said simply. "She is bonded now. If you leave her, she will fade away." Fade away. Jin-woo looked down at the tiny woman. Her glowing skin was warm against his hand. She looked up at him with those huge golden eyes, and he could see the fear in them. "Okay," he said softly, defeated. "I'll take care of you, Lira." At those words, her little wings fluttered again, but this time, it wasn't from fear. It was almost like she was happy. Later, back on the shuttle, Jin-woo tried to set Lira down in a seat. She immediately clung to his leg again, her small fingers digging in. "Great," Jin-woo muttered. "Hyeo," Unsu chuckled from the pilot's chair. "Get used to it, man. She's your space wife now." Jin-woo sighed. He didn't know what bonded really meant, but he had a bad feeling this was only the beginning. Lira looked up at him and made a soft humming noise, her head resting lightly against his knee. For a moment, Jin-woo felt an odd sense of calm, even though he was completely confused. But deep inside, a question kept repeating in his mind. What did the Lithari mean when they said she would never leave him? Life on the ship changed the moment Lira came aboard. Jin-woo could not take a single step without the tiny alien woman clinging to his leg. He tried everything. He tried leaving her on a bed, giving her small pillows and blankets. He tried asking the crew to hold her while he worked on the ship's engines. But every time he moved away, she panicked. Her glowing skin would flicker like a dimming light, and her little wings would buzz in terror until he came back. "She really won't let go," Hyun-soo said one morning as Jin-woo walked into the mess hall with Lira wrapped around his leg like a living scarf. "I think she's going to be stuck to you forever." "That's what I'm worried about," Jin-woo muttered. He placed Lira on the table gently. She immediately crawled toward him and sat on his lap, refusing to be anywhere else. He gave her a spoonful of his food. She sniffed it, then only ate after he took a bite first. It was like she needed his approval for everything. Captain Mira, the ship's leader, entered the room. She was tall, strong, and serious, and her eyes softened only slightly when she saw Lira. "Jin-woo, we need to figure out what this bond means," she said. "What if it's dangerous?" "I don't think she wants to hurt anyone," Jin-woo replied, stroking Lira's soft hair. "Wanting is different from being able," Captain Mira said firmly. "We should take her to the medical bay. Our scanners might tell us more." Jin-woo agreed. though he was worried. When they reached the medical bay, he tried to place Lira on the scanner bed. But the moment he stepped back, she screamed. It wasn't a normal scream. It was sharp and full of fear, her wings buzzing so fast, they hummed. She leapt from the bed and wrapped herself around Jin-woo's chest, shaking violently. "She's terrified," Jin-woo whispered, holding her close. "Hold her still," the medic said, stepping forward with a scanner. But Lira hissed like a wild animal, and her tiny hands clawed at anyone who came near. She even bit one crew member, drawing a small bead of blood. The medic stepped back immediately. "She's protective," Hyun-soo said carefully. Jin-woo rubbed Lyra's back, feeling her tremble against him. "It's okay," he whispered. "I'm here, you're safe." Lira finally calmed down, but she refused to be scanned. Captain Mira sighed. "We'll have to try another way," she said. "But Jin-woo, be careful. We don't know what she's capable of." That night, Jin-woo woke to a faint humming sound. Lira was not by his side. His chest tightened and panicked until he saw a soft glow coming from the air vent. Quietly, he followed the sound through the ship's corridors until he reached the communications room. There, he saw Lira standing on the console, her glowing hands moving quickly over the buttons. "Lira," he whispered. She froze. Her golden eyes widened. Then she darted forward and clung to his neck, humming nervously. "What were you doing?" Jin-woo asked softly. "Were you sending a message?" She only hummed again, burying her face against him. The next day, Hyun-soo told Jin-woo what he feared. "She might be a spy," he said. "What if she's warning the Lethari about us, or calling someone else?" "She's not a spy," Jin-woo said sharply. He could still feel how desperately she had clung to him the night before. "She's scared, I don't know why. But I don't think she's trying to hurt us." Captain Mira, however, was not convinced. "If she's a danger to this crew, we'll have to make a decision," she said. Jin-woo looked at Lira, who sat quietly on his shoulder, watching everyone with wary eyes. He didn't know what this bond meant, but deep down, he felt something stronger now. He had to protect her no matter what. The attack came without warning. The crew was finishing repairs near the outer rim of an uncharted system when the alarms screamed through the ship. Jin-woo rushed to the bridge with Lira clinging tightly to his chest. "Krith fleet incoming," Hyun-soo shouted from the pilot's seat. "We're outnumbered." Jin-woo's heart sank. The Krith were infamous bloodthirsty raiders who left nothing alive. Their ships appeared on the scanner like shadows, dozens of them, moving fast, shields up. Captain Mira barked. "All hands to battle stations." The ship shook violently as the first volley of enemy fire struck. Jin-woo grabbed a railing and held Lira close. She was glowing brightly now, brighter than ever, her golden eyes wide with terror. "Lira, it's okay," he whispered. But it wasn't okay. The Krith hit them again and again, tearing through the shields. Hyun-soo struggled to keep the ship steady while the crew scrambled to return fire. The engine screamed from overload, and several compartments were breached. Captain Mira fell when an explosion rocked the bridge. Blood ran down her forehead as she struggled to stand. "Keep fighting," she ordered, her voice weak. Jin-woo's mind raced. They couldn't win. That was when Lira began to scream. The sound was unlike anything he had ever heard, high and piercing, filled with fear. Her small body glowed so brightly it hurt his eyes. Suddenly, Jin-woo understood. "She's been trying to warn us," he shouted. "What do you mean?" Hyun-soo yelled. She knew they were coming. Lira turned in Jin-woo's arms and, for the first time, spoke in broken Korean. "Krith, hunting me," she whispered. "Aiki, last oracle." Jin-woo froze. "What?" She looked up at him, tears glowing on her cheeks. "They want me. I am key. Ancient weapon. Only me can open." Hyun-soo's eyes widened. "She's the target. They're after her, not us." Another blast ripped through the ship. The engines failed, and emergency lights flickered. "We can't hold much longer," Hyun-soo shouted. The Krith boarded. Moments later, dark armored aliens poured into the ship, cutting through doors and attacking the crew. Jin-woo fought back with whatever tools he could grab, but they were too strong. One of the Krith lunged at him, claws ready. Lira screamed again and raised her glowing hands. A blast of energy erupted from her tiny body, knocking the attacker across the room. The walls shook from the impact. Jin-woo stared in shock. "Lira," but the power drained her. She went limp in his arms, her glow dimming dangerously. "No, stay with me," Jin-woo begged. The crew was losing ground fast. Hyun-soo pulled Jin-woo toward the escape pods. "We have to go," he shouted. Jin-woo hesitated, looking at the others fighting for their lives. "I can't just leave them." If we stay, we all die. Hyensu yelled. Jin-woo looked down at Lira, who was barely breathing. She opened her eyes weakly. Weapon. Hidden. Uncharted system, she whispered. Take me. Can save all. Jin-woo's hands shook. He had no idea where to go, but he trusted her. Captain Mira, pale and bleeding, pushed him toward the pod. Go, Jin-woo, she said. Protect her. You're our only chance now. Jin-woo stepped inside the pod, with Lira still in his arms. Hyensu jumped in beside him and sealed the hatch. The pod launched into space as the ship burned behind them. Jin-woo stared out the small window, his chest heavy with guilt and fear. Lira reached up weakly, touching his face. Trust me, she whispered before closing her eyes. Jin-woo held her close, his heart pounding. He didn't know what this ancient weapon was or if it could really save them. But he knew one thing. He would protect Lira with everything he had. The escape pod flew silently through the black void. Jin-woo held Lira close as Hyensu piloted, following the small map glowing on the pod's console. It was guiding them toward an uncharted star system. How much longer? Jin-woo asked. 10 minutes, Hyensu replied, sweat on his forehead. But the Krith are tracking us. We need to be fast. Jin-woo looked down at Lira. She was so pale now, her glow fading with each breath. He brushed a strand of her soft hair aside. Stay with me, Lira. We're almost there. She opened her eyes weakly and whispered, trust. Bond. The pod dropped out of hyperspace, and Jin-woo gasped. A massive structure floated near a dead star. It was old, older than any civilization he had seen before. Its surface shimmered with strange alien symbols, and it radiated a quiet, sleeping power. Weapon, Hyensu said in awe. This must be it. But there was no time to wonder. Krith ships appeared behind them, engines burning. They were closing in fast. We can't fight them in this pod, Hyensu said. We'll be destroyed before we even land. No, Jin-woo said. We're going in. He grabbed the controls and dove straight toward the structure. At the last second, the wall of the massive station opened, as if recognizing Lyra's presence. The pod slipped inside just as the Krith ships fired. They landed hard on a glowing platform. Jin-woo carried Lira out. The entire station came alive, with light, the moment they stepped onto the floor. Strange energy pulsed beneath their feet, leading them toward a central chamber. Lira whispered, place me in the core. No, Jin-woo said, shaking his head. You're too weak. It will kill you. It's the only way, she said softly. Her golden eyes looked at him with trust. Our bond will guide you. You can help me. Jin-woo's chest ached, but he nodded. He carried her to the glowing core of the weapon. When he placed her inside, the energy from the chamber surged. A blinding light wrapped around both of them. Jin-woo felt the bond he had always sensed between them come alive. He could feel her thoughts, her fear, her determination. Help me aim, she said in his mind. He raised his hands as the Krith ships closed in outside. Through Lyra's power, Jin-woo could see every enemy position. Fire, he whispered. The ancient weapon unleashed a massive beam of energy. It shot out into space, tearing through the Krith fleet in a single blast. The explosions lit up the star system like fireworks. When it was over, Jin-woo collapsed to his knees. The weapon powered down slowly. Lira, he whispered, heart racing. She was lying in the core, still and silent. Jin-woo pulled her into his arms, tears in his eyes. No, please, don't leave me. You saved everyone. You can't go now. For a moment, there was nothing. Then, slowly, Lyra's body began to glow, again but differently this time. She was growing, her tiny frame stretching until she was as tall as a human. Jin-woo, she said softly, opening her eyes. I'm here. He stared at her in shock and relief. You're alive, and you're changed, she said, smiling. The bond was never to trap me. It was to help me evolve. And now, I choose to stay with you. Hyensu appeared at the door, his face breaking into a smile when he saw them. Looks like you two just saved the galaxy, he said. Jin-woo hugged Lira tightly, his heart full. She was no longer the tiny alien clinging to his leg. She was his equal now, his partner. As they left the ancient station together, Jin-woo looked back one last time. The stars were quiet, safe for now. Hyensu grinned. Still think the space wife nickname doesn't fit? Jin-woo laughed softly, holding Lyra's hand. Maybe it does, he said. And together, they stepped into the unknown, ready for whatever came next.